We're good?
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? I'm Alan Thrall here at Untamed Strength in Sacramento, California. Strongman, powerlifting, strength training gym. I've given you guys a gym tour in the past, but I want to give you a little bit closer look. So I'm going to start this short video series where I will show you and explain every piece of equipment here at Untamed Strength. I'll talk about brands, why I purchased the equipment, maybe why I like the piece of equipment or what I don't like about it. And most juicy, I'll tell you some stories behind some of this equipment. This first video is going to be all about the machines here at Untamed Strength. The next video will be about squat racks and benches. I'll do a video about strongman equipment or miscellaneous stuff around the gym. I might do a video about barbells and specialty bars. Maybe, we'll see. But when that's all said and done, I'd like to make a video about how much it cost me to open up Untamed Strength initially, as well as some of the financial struggles that I experienced initially. I say initially because I'm like pretty much a billionaire now. Before we get to all the machines here at Untamed Strength, a brief history of the gym. I opened up Untamed Strength a little over 5 years ago. I had 4 squat racks, 4 no-name, off-brand squat racks. Well, actually one of them was a rogue rack that I brought with me from my garage. I had 2 garbage benches. Dumbbells, plates, and barbells were all crap purchased off of Craigslist. I had some strongman equipment, and I had 1 machine, which was a leg press machine. I didn't even buy that machine. The guy, there was a guy that I bought some dumbbells and plates from, and he had an old leg press machine in his garage. He didn't want it, so he said, just take it, I'll throw it in with everything else. And I actually had to sell that leg press machine several months later for 500 bucks, which is not very much for a leg press machine, because I needed the money to make rent. So I was selling pieces of Untamed Strength in order to pay for rent to keep Untamed Strength open. Some sad times. Why am I telling you this? Because if you're an aspiring gym owner, or you are a gym owner, maybe starting out in the early days, you don't need all this equipment that I'm going to show you. It's expensive. It takes up a lot of room. I didn't really need it. I don't think you need it. With that said, right now, for what my business, how it operates currently, I'm glad I have all of it. It's worth every penny, and they get a lot of use. But it's not necessary right off the bat. I'm going to show you like 10 machines that I have here at Untamed Strength. And I've acquired these 10 machines over the past 5 years. So you do the math, slow and steady. First machine, chest supported row, or a seal row machine bench type thing from Watson Gym Equipment in the UK. I'll show you how to use it. You climb up here, lay down. It comes with this cambered bar, unrack, and then you do a row, chest supported row. This cambered bar gives you a little bit of extra room to pull back, and that is how you use it. So this is from Watson Gym Equipment. This is the only piece of equipment that I've purchased from a company outside of the United States. It's in the UK. Now you're gonna see a recurring theme that a lot of these machines that I bought were not because I think every gym needs them necessarily, but I bought them because a lot of the members, mainly because of the demand, a lot of the members were building their own DIY kind of machines, trying to imitate these. And for example, the chest supported row, people were taking the utility benches and they'd stack bumpers underneath, or the old jerk blocks that we had, they'd stack those underneath. I've seen people put a bench on like 2 uneven tires. And not only is that annoying because you got people setting up these DIY stations in between squat racks or in between the benches, it's not very safe. It's a pretty janky setup. They're like wobbling around. They have their chest, the bench, and then this metal piece underneath. They're using a barbell, and it's ding, 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 this short range of motion. So it's not 1 or 2 people who were setting this chest supported seal row thing up. It was a whole bunch of members. So I just said, I need to get a machine that I can put over here, already set up so people can use it on their own. And so this was the only one that I could find. It has telescoping arms that you can twist here, pull here, and then these, the bench goes up and down, which is really nice. It came with this bar the cambered bar. It is an excellent piece of equipment. It's already sustained 2 injuries since I've purchased it. This is a newer piece of equipment. The first one, when I got it, it was in a couple different boxes, and I was so happy to open it up that I just started I've got my box cutters and started hacking stuff up. And I sliced in and realized that I sliced this bench with the box cutter right off the bat. But I just got a leather patch kit, put a piece of leather underneath it, a little glue, and it's good now. The next thing is, people were doing tire flips in here, and the tire got away from them, and it smashed off this handle on this piece. So we can no longer pull this out. I just need to get some vice grips or actually fix it, but for now it's okay. This is an excellent piece of equipment. I would highly recommend it. I think it's the only of its kind that's actual chest supported row. Next, the BeastMetals belt squat. It's a belt squat machine. It is a hip loaded squat. So you take this here belt, slap it on right around the hips, hook it up on this here carabiner, pull this piece towards you, and do a squat. Just like that. Belt squats seem to be very popular nowadays, so I jumped on the bandwagon and bought one. So this style is unlike any other in that it is plate loadable from the top. Matt Winning's belt squat, which I've never used, so I can't say whether or not, it's good. But his slide on the side, this one's a top loaded, so you put it right on the top here. Now the normal belt squat machine, the first one, the Pit Shark, I think, and the Westside are both cable and they have a pulley system. Pulley systems make the weight a little bit easier to move. I've used a Pit Shark and you have to use a lot of plates to actually get any sort of resistance. And there are people who squat twice as much as I do, so I can't imagine how many plates they need to put on in order to get something out of the Pit Shark. This feels a lot like barbell weight. When you put 2 plates on each side, it feels pretty close to a 225 squat. So the weight and the pivot point feel much different than the cable Pit Shark. I actually think this is harder because I can squat over 500 pounds. I don't think I could do a 500-pound belt squat on this thing. Do you think you could, John?
Nope.
Yeah, so maybe even harder. So that's why I really like this piece of equipment. It also has adjustable J-hooks here, so you can move this up and down based off of height, where you need to unrack it. We usually keep it right about here. One other really nice thing about this is the pivot section of this is actually made for trailers. It is not just a threaded bolt that goes through, but this is actual doohickey for a trailer. That's gonna last a long time. So let's talk for a minute about BeastMetals. So I am biased towards BeastMetals because I know the owner. I know him really well. He started his company at BeastMetals around the same time I started Untamed Strength. And he has been nothing but good to me since I've met him. He's helped me with a lot of competitions and making equipment. He's cut deals for me for a lot of equipment. He's a local guy. He's like 20 minutes from here. So I like the guy a lot. With that said, I think that he is a great welder, metal fabricator. He needs a lot of improvement on the business end of things. And if you've ever worked with BeastMetals, it's not going to be like any other professional organization, professional company. You're probably not going to get a receipt for what you paid for. There's not going to be a delivery time. If there is an estimated shipping date, that's useless. So he is pretty much a one-man show. He does have some help from friends and family, but it's pretty much him. So when he gets busy or backed up, he's really, really busy and backed up, and it takes a long time to get equipment. So that is the unfortunate truth about BeastMetals. When I do my strongman video, you're gonna see a lot of this strongman stuff I have is from BeastMetals. I think the BeastMetals is great for custom equipment. You can get a lot of stuff from BeastMetals that you can't necessarily go online and buy on Rogue. He does a lot of custom work, which is great. So that's my bit about BeastMetals. Oh wait, I am not done at all. So I want to answer are your arms getting tired, John?
Nope.
Are you undertrained? Is that camera getting heavy?
Yes,
okay.
I'm undertrained.
So let's talk about the belt squat for a second. So many people, they see that there's this belt squat battle, there's belt squat fad, and I get it. There is definitely a huge popularity with belt squats nowadays. But people say dumb things like, whatever happened to just putting a kettlebell between your legs and standing up on a couple of benches? I think that if you're a home gym owner or you train in your garage, this is not a practical piece of equipment. It's expensive and it's way too big. So yes, just getting a dip belt, putting some plates or dumbbells, kettlebells in between your legs, and doing a belt squat is probably a better option than this. But as a gym owner, like I said with the chest supported row, there were guys who were setting up, standing on 2 benches with a bunch of dumbbells or kettlebells in between their legs using a dip belt trying to squat. That is not safe, not even from a liability standpoint for me as a business owner, but just the safety of my members. Getting a couple hundred pound kettlebells between your legs and standing on these benches, these wobbly benches, is a recipe for disaster. Also, I used to do it that way, and I could not get enough weight to actually get any sort of training effect out of it. Can you imagine someone who squats 400, 500, 600 pounds trying to do a kettlebell loaded hip squat, right? They got all these dumbbells in between here. They got to stand up. They got to climb up onto these benches, these wobbly benches, and do some squats, right? It's just stupid. This is much safer. You're going to be able to use a lot more weight. It's just a way better option than doing a DIY belt squat or hip loaded squat. So that answers all of the YouTube questions about, this is so dumb, why would you need this piece of equipment? You can do it yourself. Doing it yourself is, you can do anything yourself. I can make squat rack myself, but I don't want to do that. Reverse hyper. This is the Rogue Westside reverse hyper. And I actually did not purchase this piece of equipment. This belongs to, or belonged to, Matt and Gina, who are both members here at Untamed Strength. They had it in their garage, and at the old gym actually, they said, hey, do you want this? Can we bring this in? Not do you want this? They said, can we bring this in? So they did, and it's still here. I'll show you how to use it. So you would put plates down here. You slide your heel into this belt. Use these steps to step up. Put this piece right in the crease of your hips, and then grab onto these handles. And then you feed your leg through the other side, right? You go down and up. That is a reverse hyper. It's kind of like the opposite of a back extension, to where your feet are stationary, right? And you're moving your torso like that. This is your torso stationary, you're moving your legs. I'll say that I have never used this. I've obviously put some weight on it and used it a couple times, but I've never actually put it in my program. I don't know. I'm indifferent. Doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm not a big fan of it, so I don't really do it. With that said, there are a lot of members who love this thing and they use it frequently. There are some people who I've met who said, this thing cured all my back pain. Some people who are in my boat and say, nah, I don't really know, whatever. And there's other people who say, yeah, it hurts my back. Maybe they're doing it wrong, I don't know. But so many mixed reviews on this thing. With that said, it is a very good piece of equipment. You'll notice that the actual stand piece, other than this, is fully welded. There's not a whole lot of assembly required, so that's always a plus that I'll talk a little bit more about as we go. Rogue Reverse Hyper, Westside. The Rogue GHD, GHR, back extension, glute ham raise, leg curl thing. So let me show you how to use this. I don't even know where this is supposed to go. I'm just gonna hop in. So you would go right here. You can do back extensions, or you can do leg curls, hamstring curls like this. So that is what this thing is for. There's also band peg attachments down here. Let's talk about cheap equipment. I used to have a GHD, a different one. That was some no-name brand, I don't remember. But it was much cheaper. It's probably a third of the price of this thing. It was also a third of the quality. It was garbage. So the pads here were not very durable. Everyone was putting their, laying on this thing. The foam was starting to sink down pretty quickly. The cheap leather or whatever was on it, the fake leather, was ripping. So these pads weren't doing their job. It was also not very heavy. This thing's a couple hundred pounds. The old GHD I had was like, what, 60 pounds? And so we have 300-pound guys that are doing back extensions or glue ham raise on the old one, and the back end would kip up. So someone had to stand on it, or some of the guys would put 100-pound dumbbells at the end of it. Again, dangerous, huge liability. And then the breaking point, literally and figuratively, was when some guy got up on this thing. It was actually Sean. He got up on it, and these handles are here so you can put your feet in, right? He gets up, he puts his hands on this, and it goes, it just bends straight down. And he was like, what the hell? It didn't even break, they just completely bent down. So I was like, good Lord, we need to get a new one. So we've got this here. This is an excellent piece of equipment. The leather and the foam are nice and durable. It's heavy duty. I like it a lot. Like those boxers.
Yeah.
Leg
That's nice.
Extension, leg curl. So there's your leg extension. Here's the leg curl. Whoa. That's it. So I actually never thought that I would get a leg extension, leg curl for the gym. But again, I did because a lot of the members were trying to do their own DIY leg extension, leg curl. They would sit down on the bench and tie a band to a rack behind them, and then they'd try to do like these leg extensions with an old band, or they'd lay up on their belly and do some leg curl with a band. And it wasn't just one or two, it was a bunch of members trying to simulate these leg curls and leg extensions. So I said, I just need to buy a machine so that they can do the real thing. And so EliteFTS leg extension, leg curl showed up at Untamed Strength. And something I loved about it is that it showed up just like this. I didn't have to install anything, I didn't have to put anything together. It came fully welded, fully assembled. So that's always good. What did you just say, John?
I never thought you'd get one of these machines or apparatuses, whatever it's called.
The most important exercise in the gym is the leg extension. No, I mean the leg raise. I don't even know the name of it, the leg raise.
Functional training.
This is Maxicam. I bought it from a local store, exercise equipment store. So we used to have the Rogue attachment, still do, but the Rogue attachment that goes on the outside of the rack or the inside of the rack, dip attachment. The issue with that was that, again, 300, 330, 340, 350 pound dudes were doing dips on the Rogue dip attachment inside the rack. And the rack was like this as they're standing up. And some of the racks have plate storage, so there's, 5 45s on the outside, and then these 300-pound monsters doing dips, and the rack's like, and so every time I saw it, I would just cringe, and I said, I need to get something better. So I went out and bought this bad boy. It's pretty durable, and it's fairly heavy, and it's all that I really wanted was a dip, solo dip stand, and then it just comes with a leg raise thing, which is cool too, because some people use that. It was white, and I sprayed it with truck liner. How's that for DIY? EliteFTS lat pull down, plate loadable lat pull down. This is much cheaper than the stack with the pin. Just the plate loadable, much cheaper. I like this piece of equipment a lot. Again, it came fully assembled, which I love seeing. Yeah, it's a lat pull down. Pretty straightforward. I'm sure everyone who trains in a commercial gym knows what this thing is. It's also got a seated low pulley. So you would put this pulley, attach it up there, have a seat, and do your rows like this. The reason I purchased this thing was because I had a lot of bigger clients, a lot of older clients, or just really weak clients who weren't able to do pull-ups. And even doing band assisted pull-ups didn't really help. And it gets to the point where it's a little bit dangerous when you have a really big person trying to balance on this, stand on this band. So I figured this would be good for working on some pulling strength to get a lat pull down. The bad. So come on over here, John. This thing, it gets destroyed. The plastic piece that covers it gets destroyed so quickly. And then this metal cable starts to fray. And so it's been replaced already. EliteFTS is pretty good about it. I honestly don't even know if the first replacement, I don't even think I paid for it. I just told them and they sent me one. But I do have to replace this a couple times now. Same with this one down here. Just needs to be replaced often. One other thing that I'm not crazy about is sometimes the line jumps off of this wheel here. So when people do this and then they let the weight go at the top like that, it'll jump off the wheel and get stuck in between. And I can't tighten these any tighter because then the wheel just won't move. So I'll have to stand up there and fish the thing out and put it back on the wheel, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. That's one flaw to this thing. EliteFTS hack squat machine. So this thing is a monster. This thing is huge. Look at this foot plate. This is like the widest sumo hack squat. This thing's a monster. Very nice piece of equipment. It's like the Cadillac of hack squats. I say that about a lot of EliteFTS stuff. That's all the good stuff. So there's band pegs down here, band pegs up here, which is unique. There are not many hack squat machines with band peg capabilities. Okay, let's get to the two bad things about this thing. The first one is, if you look close here, this is somewhat a design flaw. This piece gets caught, when you're going down, it gets caught here when you try to rack it. And so it's resting there, and then sometimes it'll fall down and scare the hell out of you. Let me show you what I mean. They should really fix this. I don't know why they haven't, but you go here, you can come in close, John. Right, I come up, I pull these in, do my squat, and then watch when I rack it. Go down, boom. It is not on the hook, is it?
Nope.
So it's there, and then with a little bit of bumping, sometimes it will fall down like that, which is scary. So you have to really be like perfect and precise with racking this. So you go here, right? I go like this, hit, and then I just bring it in a little bit and go down. Is that good?
Yep.
So that's a pain in the ass. Another thing. This thing is not even because of that. You should not be able to do that. This one is not moving because this thing is supported on the hook. You can head over there, John. So the weight is resting on this piece, this arm, and you can't move it, especially when there's a lot of weight on it. This one shouldn't do that. The weight should be even on both, which tells me it's a little bit crooked. When we first bought this thing, this piece, even when it was all the way out, it would catch on this. And you could hear it, tink, 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 when it go up and down. It's worn down enough, as you can see, that it doesn't really hit now, but initially it did. So that was another problem with this machine. And most people will say, you shouldn't accept that. You should send it back. Demand that they send a better one. But when you're waiting for 2 months for a product, it finally gets here on the UPS truck. And this thing was so big that they couldn't put it on the ramp of the UPS truck. So it took like 8 of us in the gym to go lift it off the rack or off the truck, bring it in, set it up, put it here, only to realize that that happened. The last thing I want to do is go get a shipping label, wait for UPS to come back, ship the thing back, and wait another 2 months for this machine. So it's kind of one of those things where you just suck it up and take it. The most important leg developer in any gym, leg press. I purchased this leg press a long time ago because I had some clients who were unable to do a body weight squat, meaning an empty, just air squat. So we do this to build up their leg strength. Or someone starting with, you know, a barbell of 55 pounds, they can do this afterwards. And so that was the main reason I bought it, but a lot of people use it. Actually, the reason I bought it was so the punch nugget could do calf extensions on it.
Yeah.
This was just something that I purchased off of Craigslist. Found a pretty good deal, a working leg press. I didn't care if it was EliteFTS. I just wanted a leg press, so I purchased it. It used to be white. I don't know the brand. Actually, yeah, it's High Tech. That's the brand. It used to be white, but I sprayed it black, again, with truck liner. More DIY. I don't have anything else to say about this leg press. Last piece of equipment that I'm going to talk about today in this video is the T-bar row, I think is what it's called, from Rogue Fitness. It's got band peg attachments to wrap around. The reason I bought this was because there were a whole bunch of people wanting to do T-bar rows, and they were using a barbell in the corner of the gym, in the room, and they were doing their T-bar rows, and it just, again, was janky. And a lot of times people were using like good barbells, which I didn't want them to. So again, I said, you know what? I need to just buy one of these damn things. And actually, it's really popular. I like this thing. So that's it. It was from Rogue. Didn't have any issues with shipping. It came fully assembled. Very nice. And I think that's it. Pretty straightforward with that. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next video where I cover the squat racks and the benches here at Untamed Strength. Thanks for watching, and always remember, tread on time.